So The Watchers came out. It was written and directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan. That's right. And produced by M. Night Shyamalan. I think the nicest thing I can say for this movie is that it had a great plot, a great idea, and it was just executed so fucking poorly. Let's just get this out of the way. First and foremost, this is Ishana's debut film. She's 23 years old, and you know, good on her for following her dad's footsteps. Shit, I mean, I would love to be able to make my own film. Mad respects to her for trying to make her first movie and attempting to do something just a little slightly different, a little bit more interesting. Obviously very much inspired by her dad's work, albeit maybe a little too inspired. My review of this film is nothing against her or M. Night Shyamalan, even though he's had his ups and downs and very, very far deep downs. This is just gonna be a review of this movie alone. I'm not here to judge or really critique how Ishana directed this film or how she wrote it. Okay, maybe a little bit of the writing, but not really the directing here, okay? Like I said, mad props to her. As for this movie, it just fucking tanks at the halfway point. We follow Dakota Fanning's character named Mina, and she works at some kind of like animal bird place or whatever, and she takes care of him. And her boss is just like, hey, can you go ahead and send this bird over there? I need you to take this bird over there because yeah, I just need you to take this bird over there for me, please. And then Dakota Fanning's character is just like, yeah, okay, all right. Dakota Fanning can do no wrong. She's fantastic. She always gives a great performance, and so does the rest of the cast here. Each of the cast members here all give a pretty solid performance, and it seems like their characters all have some depth to them. Dakota Fanning's character has some tragic backstory or whatever that is sort of explored a little bit, and we get tidbits of it as the film progresses, but honestly it doesn't really go anywhere. And when we get to the crescendo, it's honestly not that satisfying because there just wasn't enough character for us to really give a fuck about. And of course, when Dakota Fanning's character is going off to, you know, deliver this bird, she gets stuck in the forest, gets lost, and stumbles upon this shelter with 3 other people, which she needs to work with in order to get out of this forest. That's when the movie really starts. When they're inside this structure, there are certain rules they need to follow in order to survive, in order to not really aggravate the watchers. I guess that's what they're called. And to some degree, the atmosphere and concept is really cool here. The watchers are only able to come out at night, so our 4 survivors go out during the day to try to scavenge and get food or whatever to survive, and go around the forest trying to figure out how to get out. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this part. I really wish we got more of the watchers and a little bit some more horrific shit happening, because throughout this movie, some of the quote-unquote scary parts are really just cheap bullshit jump scares that I thought we've gotten rid of 10 fucking years ago. The movie literally starts off with the old fucking bird just like, and then we get another fucking cheap bullshit jump scare thing, you know, where someone comes up from behind like, it's just me. Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Like, why is this in this movie? The moment I saw that bird in the opening scene and then I saw that stupid fucking hand jump scare, I was just like, I'm probably gonna check out if this doesn't stop. Thankfully, it's only, I think, probably about only 3 times in total. Thank fucking goodness there's none of that shit anymore. I'm not gonna lie, the creature design here and the lore is really fucking cool. There is so much potential with this concept and the story, and it's unfortunately just sort of fucking shoved into our faces through terrible exposition, and the mystery of these watchers just becomes ruined over time because of what they are and what they're able to do and what's the fuck's going on with the characters. Throughout this movie, Dakota Fanning's character is seeing something like in the forest, and we as audiences see something behind her that she doesn't notice. And I keep asking myself, is this like a also sort of like a psychological thriller kind of going on here? Does it lead to anything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't fucking lead anywhere. The twists and turns of this movie are just so predictable and honestly not all that good. By the end of the second act, a character makes the most dumbest decision ever, because apparently we just need a character to make a dumb decision that makes no fucking sense, even though we literally discussed it what not to do. All in all, thinking back on this movie, I realized we really didn't spend that much time dealing with the Watchers. We're really in the forest. The mystery of the forest and the Watchers just isn't built upon all that much to keep me invested and wondering what the fuck's going on, because the movie is so busy just trying to move the plot along that it doesn't build enough atmosphere to keep me invested. And of course, in M. Night Shyamalan fashion, the third act, and especially towards the very end, everything just needs to be told to us as audience. Everything just needs to be explained, because audiences are gonna be too dumb to try to figure it out on their own. And yes, there is a twist in here that I think everyone could see over fucking 100 miles away. Or if you didn't see it coming, it was lame as fuck. I wish I could elaborate more to you about what happens to these characters and what's going on in this forest and everything, but I'd be spoiling so much because fuck it, I will give out spoilers after my general review here. Look, there is some potential here with this story and its characters and the fucking lore with the creatures, the Watchers, whatever you want to call them. As the movie progresses, like I said, it reveals a little bit more to us piece by piece, and maybe a little too much at certain moments. But for the most part, I thought it was really interesting, and that there's something here to really scare us with. There's a scene where we get to see a couple of these creatures like silhouetted, and I thought it was really fucking cool. I thought the monster design here is just, I thought it was pretty fucking awesome. I just wish we got more of these monsters. And all in all, look, this is Ishana's debut film. I will let this slide because I'm pretty sure every creator's first film is probably hot garbage. Shit, I'm pretty sure when I'm hopefully one day be able to make my own first film or whatever, it's probably gonna suck. And we all gotta start somewhere, so props to her for trying to make something here. You know, mad respects. This movie unfortunately did not live up to the potential it had. The atmosphere, the creature design, the characters, and some of the depth that we're given. I'm interested in reading the book that this is adapted from, so maybe to some degree this movie is kind of a success because it does deliver a really cool plot, a really cool concept here. It's just unfortunately tanked down by a weak script and a very weak third act.
In the control booth there, would you run the tape?
Guys, it turns out one of our 4 survivors is actually a Watcher. That's right, this bitch named Madeline, the old lady with white hair, is I guess they call a halfling or a demigod or a half fairy, half human, whatever you want to fucking call them. It's revealed to us that a long time ago that these fairy creatures used to live alongside humans, and then some humans and fairies had sex and had babies and had these things called halflings that are half fairies and half human, which is what Madeline is, which is why she's able to walk in the sunlight. This movie unfortunately does not take place entirely in the forest. By the beginning of the third act, they figure out how to escape the forest by discovering a bunker that was hidden under their fucking room that they were chilling in. And it turns out a guy who is a professor from a university who's been researching about this place and these creatures built this place, and who wanted to study these creatures, to study the Watchers, and he wanted to bring back his dead wife, Madeline. Yeah, so, which he managed to do, kinda. And of course they escape, but not without losing one of their members, who decided to make the dumbass decision of helping a guy that was totally not a Watcher. You know, they literally discussed it like not too long ago that the Watchers have abilities and powers that play tricks on your mind, but also fuck with you and also like pretend to be other people. So yeah, that guy dies, and towards the end Madeline reveals herself and is gonna try to kill Dakota Fanning's character and then the other character because they figured out her secret. But then Dakota Fanning's character is just like, actually the reason why you can walk in the light is because you're also a human and you're only half fairy. And then Madeline's character is just like,
no, how can be no, oh my god, no, knowing the truth, it's stopping me from killing you.
And then she grows some wings because apparently the fairy people used to have wings, but over time they lost their powers. Well, they lost some of their powers and lost their wings because I guess the magic is just gone, but somehow Madeline was able to get her wings back, and then she decides that it's okay for them to stay alive and know her secret. Madeline is the only halfling out of the entire forest, and she's the only one able to leave the forest because for some reason the rest of them are just trapped in that forest forever. I think it was explained somewhere, but I can't recall it anywhere, and I don't even give a fuck. Yeah, this movie is kind of a clusterfuck. It had such a great premise and so much potential, only to be wasted away like how it is. If you're looking for a good horror film, I'd probably say skip out on this one unless you're just really bored and just want something to watch. And even for all you horror movie goers out there that just enjoy a dumb horror flick with terrible cheesy jump scare cliches, you're probably gonna find this boring. Hell, I don't even think general audiences are gonna find this movie interesting. No offense, but this movie just ain't it. Alright, well I hope you enjoy my short little spoiler talk there. I know I didn't really go into too much, but honestly there wasn't much to go off of from the beginning. So, as always, I'll catch y'all later.
Was lived, flowers died. So much beauty, so much life. Was lived, flowers died.